to start out with some housekeeping. I'll be the facilitator. My name is John O'Grady. I was brought on to the city to look at some areas, starting with code enforcement, fresh set of eyes, to come in and look at things and make some recommendations to the acting city manager, John Peters. As a facilitator, we're going to keep to a schedule, and at the end of everybody that's going to speak will introduce themselves. At the very end, I will come back up and then we'll take questions. And before we take questions, I'll have a few things to say. But before we start, I'd like to point out from the city, Ron Paradise, the Planning and Development Director, and then Commissioner King, the commissioner in this district, wants to say a few words.
Good evening. I just wanted to, usually when I do a town hall, I like to start out by letting our residents have an idea of, what am I doing? And everybody can see what happens at the commission meetings and so on. That's all posted and it's on tape and you can all see that. But when I'm not at City Hall, I'm still getting calls. And I'm still meeting with people at City Hall or at their homes or sometimes at my house. But some of the things that have happened since the last time that we met, I had a gentleman call. He lives on Howland Boulevard and he's concerned about the foliage that they're going to put in the median on the new section of Howland Boulevard. And he's got a pretty nice place and it's landscaped very nicely. And he's asking the city, and I think our Parks and Recreation has been in touch with him already. We have to stay compatible with what's there already. But if some of the things that he has in his yard are compatible with what the city already has, then they may be able to work something out where it'll almost look like maybe an extension of his yard out into the median. He wants certain things there, and I said, well, that just doesn't happen. We have a budget, and we do have an issue with compatibility. It has to look the same all the way up and down Howland is what the city's looking for. So that's been one thing that we've taken a look at. Another thing has been excessive speeds on Catalina. I don't know if you all have noticed that or not. I'm guilty, I have to say, because I drive Catalina all the time. And it's real hard not to put your foot down a little bit over there. But it was asked to have some signs put out there that just say slow down right before you get to the hill going towards Howland, and on the other side coming around the curve. The city deemed that wasn't necessary. I believe they did a traffic study, and I also think that they had a sign out there for a while, one of those signs that flashes when you're not doing the speed limit. Then fireworks. There's been a lot of issues in this neighborhood especially about fireworks. They've been during the holidays and 5 days before the holidays and 4 weeks after the holidays, they still have fireworks and they're getting rid of them. So that's been a big issue around here. Those folks have not been calling for a while now, so that was addressed with the Sheriff's Department. So hopefully that's pretty much been taken care of until the next holiday, and then we'll probably have to deal with that one again. On Catalina Boulevard, if any of you travel that way, you may have noticed the mud hole that we've got going over there in front of the Sixma property. It's in the swale on the right-hand side when you're going towards Howland Boulevard. We've had some folks that decided that since we're dumping water out there on the ground almost every day, that they would use that area for mudding. So they've been coming off the road at Catalina and running in the swale on the shoulder of the road. And it's just torn that whole area up over there. I talked to Mr. Paradise, we got some signs out there, and I noticed that the grass is starting to grow up a little bit, so I'm hoping that they have stopped that altogether. There was a sign there, I can't remember what it was. It was either a speed sign, no it wasn't. It wasn't a speed sign, it was an information sign.
The hill?
About the hill, and somehow that got ripped down, and it's still not back up. But that's something that we'll take a look at and see if we can't get it back up. And then a couple other things. On Lake Helen Osteen Road, we had some people that were launching a fishing boat into Three Island Lake there at a culvert right behind a residential house there, and some of the folks on the lake were complaining about that. And I went back to Mr. Paradise again on that, and we now have, you'll notice a sign up there that says no parking, and there's a couple other signs that say no trespassing, so that hopefully, and I've seen them out there on occasion. I've stopped and asked for the sheriff's department to run by and ask them to leave. But that's been going on for a while, and I think it's pretty much done now. And for the rest of you that have either been aware of what's going on, or maybe you're not aware, we are getting a new development on Lake Helen Osteen Road. Y'all know where I'm going to call it the new church building that we've been dealing with, the thing getting built for the last 10 years. Right across the street from that is 16 acres of property that's been zoned RPUD. That 16 acres is going to be soon developed with 61 houses. So we had quite a bit of conversation about that. Personally, I was against it going in there, but the consensus and the vote on the dais was to allow them to come in and build there. All the land around it, at least to the west or northwest, is all RE1 estate homes, 5 acres, 10 acres, 20 acres of property. So anyway, look forward to that coming in. So that's all I have. I'm going to turn this over to our code enforcement. If there's any questions at the end, I'll be here for a few minutes to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. All righty, we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to have a brief slideshow. Each supervisor will get up and talk a little bit, and then, as I said, we'll go to questions. Code enforcement, what is it? Code enforcement is made up of city employees. Our main focus is to enforce the ordinances and the codes as enacted by your commissioners. Our focus is life and health safety issues. We address those. Our focus is compliance, not fines, not liens, but compliance. You're going to see here that our focus is quality of life issues as they are delineated in the codes and ordinances. You're going to see here that 98%, 98.5% of the violations out there come into compliance. Only 1.5% go all the way to the magistrate and end up on the other side. We're going to show you those numbers. So 98%, once they're aware of the problem or they're aware of the solution, because we work with our residents, they come into compliance. And why do we do that? Once again, it's as the commissioner was saying earlier, we're trying to beautify the area, keep Deltona quality of life at a certain standard as set by the commissioners, as set by their strategic plan going forward. The commission sets the strategic plan and the goals, and we carry it out through goals and objectives. Now I'm going to turn it over to Mark. You're up.
Good evening. My name is Officer Gibson. I've been employed with the City of Deltona for approximately 23 years. Started in 1998 as a permit clerk. My current position now is one of the 2 supervisors of code enforcement. What we're going to do here is a little history of the code enforcement, a brief history of Deltona's code enforcement. We were incorporated as a city from Volusia County in 1995. Although we had become a city, Volusia County was still responsible for code enforcement until 1996. Then the city decided to establish its own code enforcement department in order to provide a better, more efficient service for the citizens of Deltona. At this time, code enforcement issues were governed by the city code enforcement board. The code enforcement board was dissolved in 2004, and the city hired a special magistrate to preside over its code enforcement proceedings. What we have here is a graph to give you an idea of the number of staffing we had compared to the population growth from the beginning of code enforcement to our current staff and population. Now, you'll notice as the city population continues to grow, the number of staffing has fluctuated. In 2008, you'll notice staffing was at its highest, but between 2008 and 2010, then dropped due to the recession. So basically this slide is to give you a visual depiction of the rapid growth in population in comparison to the growth of staffing. You'll notice the years compared to staffing and population. So at this point, Dan and Ron will continue with the rest of the presentation.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Danny Ron. I'm the customer service supervisor for the Department of the Building and Enforcement Services. If you happen to call City Hall for a complaint with code enforcement, guess what? That's the department that I cover. My department covers a couple of sections. We have code enforcement, animal control, solid waste, business tax, permitting, zoning. That's a big area. It's very busy lately. That's my section there. What I'm going to start covering, just my little history of myself. I've been with the city for 18 years. 15 years I was actually a code enforcement officer. And I pretty much covered the whole city in different zones throughout those 15 years. First thing I'm going to cover is the different types of cases that we've had, and I got 2 years comparison, 2019 and 2020. Some of the numbers have jumped, especially the top 2 categories that we deal with all the time, vehicle and lot maintenance. Vehicle covers not just parking, but also inoperable vehicles. And as for lot maintenance, it's the trash, debris, the outdoor storage, and the grass. And see, these are some of the other numbers that we also cover. Cold cases. The combination between 19 and 20, it jumped almost 2,000 cases. The same amount of code officers being on there. Wrong button. Here's another chart that we have, another graph. It's showing the numbers. Yes, some have reduced from 19 to 20. I think that was due to COVID. A lot of people were home for last year. So when it came to animals, those numbers dropped. But guess what? The lot maintenance, the vehicle cases went up. This year, 2021, January 1st till mid-March, that's our numbers. So far, we've already gotten 1,361 cases that we deal with just the parking in and out of vehicles. That's a lot of cases, just within the next, not even 3 months yet, complete. A second category that is high up there is for the debris and high grass, 229. The rain is about to come, and guess what? Those numbers are gonna definitely go sky high. Dealing with the lawn maintenance. How does a responsive city government achieve code compliance for the benefit of the entire community? As for the city of Deltona, there's many ways that you can, it's not just code enforcement being out there, but the public can help us trying to address these violations. These are different ways, being reactive methods, so we can get those code cases going, getting the officers to address them. We have our main hotline for code enforcement, which is the 386-878-8700. It's a busy line. We also have an app, My311 Deltona. So if you have an Android, an iPhone, if you look that up in the Apple Store or the Droid Store, I think it's called, it'll be available there. My311 Deltona. I have it on my iPhone because I like checking it out once in a while, see what's going on there. We also have a city website, and there's different sections all over that website that has contact us, and we'll get those via email. I'm getting these all day long. We also have an email directly to code enforcement. It'scenforcement@deltonafl.gov. But pretty much anybody that you reach out to City Hall or in the city, if it's the wrong department, they'll definitely forward it to our department, and so that way we can get this started. So we're not just reactive, the court officers are proactive. They're actually out there. In the morning, they print out their list, or now pretty much everything's on computers. They'll have their thing on their iPads or their computers. They're out there on the road, they see code cases. If they have the time at the moment, they'll go and stop and address it. So they're also initiating cases out there, not just by complaints, but also being out there in the community, being proactive. Door hanger. Did I bring it here? Yes, I did. The most common notice, we call this a door hanger, but there's a lot of other names people have called for, courtesy notice, warnings. But guess what? A lot of information on this little thing. It makes it easy because it just, most doors have a little door, a little knob, and it hangs perfectly in there. Hopefully it's not a windy day and we lose them, but it does its purpose. It does have the description of violation, why we were there, how to correct that violation, and on the top it will have a re-inspection date. Average time on these is 7 days. We give the resident homeowner 7 days to come in compliance with that violation. So, this is my flow chart. Pretty much, there's a violation out there. We see the violation, we confirmed it, we're gonna start a code case or continue the code case. We leave a door hanger. 7 days later, I'm hoping we can get back there in 7 days. We'll see. So if they come into compliance, we can just easily close out the case. If the violation still exists, it's considered a non-compliance, we move on to the next step. We have two types of notices. One's abatement notice or the notice of violation. Depending on the type of code case, that's the next step we take. With this notice, it's a formal notice, and the time period for this we give out is 10 days. With this notice, we have to post it on the property and also send this notice certified mail. And we send the certified mail to the address that's listed on the property appraiser's record in Volusia County. So we're hoping that information is up to date with the homeowner, because that's what we want to definitely make contact with the homeowner, because they might not be living there. There might be a rental house, another family member living in that house. We want to make sure the homeowner is aware there is a violation in this house, so we want to get it addressed. So 10 days, so we wait 10 days. 10 days comes up, it comes up on list to go back out to that location. If it's in compliance, perfect, we just close out the case. It doesn't go any further. If it's still in violation after the 10 days, now you got 7 days, and then we get to 10 days. That's almost 3 weeks down the road. We're hoping by that time it is in compliance. If it's not, guess what? The officers have to prepare for the notice of hearing. When it comes to the notice of hearing, they prepare this notice so they can go in front of the special manager, which we have an assigned a special manager for the city, and Ms. Angela Myers is going to cover that portion of the presentation.
My name is Angela Meyer. I am with the city of Deltona for 19 years, and right now I am the administrative supervisor for building and enforcement services, and also the hearing clerk for the special magistrate. Like Mr. Ron explained, the notice of hearing starts when the violation has not been corrected, after all the warnings provided. So then it goes to the special magistrate. Our special magistrate is a licensed attorney and is also a member of the Florida Bar. And he is appointed by the City Commission to rule on code compliance matters. The special magistrate will make a ruling based on three things: the gravity of the violation, the actions that were taken by the violator to correct it, and the previous violations related to that property. The penalty for those, the violation that's established by the special magistrate after hearing both sides, he listens to the officer or the city, and then he also listens to the violator, what caused them to delay to correct the violation. And the penalty lien are usually up to $250 for the first time and $500 a day for a repeat violation. I put here a little chart so we can see how many cases go to the special magistrate. Using the same numbers previously presented by Mr. Ron, in 2019, we had 8,506 cold cases. That came to the magistrate, 129 came to the magistrate. Before you get to the magistrate's ruling, the number dropped to 118, I mean, they came to compliance. Then the magistrate usually gives some time for the violations to be corrected based on what he sees that the person needed some time. Once he does the ruling, that person work around that time and come into compliance. So at the end, only 11 of them doesn't come to compliance on the period of time given to the magistrate. So that what we can see that the compliance actually for each year on cold cases in 2019 was 98.5%. And the non-compliance, 1.5. Those 1.5 are the only ones that get lien on their property. So if you do a comparison in 2020, if you look at the numbers, and you can see was even less than 2019. So it's very important that everybody comes over to the special magistrate when they have the cold cases, so they can present their, what stopped them from getting to compliance, so we make it easier for them to come to compliance, and the case will be closed without any fines. Now I have Mr. Roland. He's be covering the city of Deltona now and the future.
Hey, good evening. I'm Roland Klee. I'm a consultant and I'm an associate of Mr. O'Grady. So thanks all for coming out here tonight. Covering for one of the supervisors who was unable to be here this evening. So where we were at in 2007, we saw that that's when staffing was peaking for code enforcement. Everything's going along great for everybody until the Great Recession comes, you know. Then your neighbors are abandoning their properties, millage rates are down, government resources are cut back, and government personnel are cut back. So the code enforcement team, they wound up going and, may I go to the next slide? Going from being a proactive force in Deltona with having about 16,000 cases in 2008 to basically a reactive grouping as their staffing shrunk. So the cases came in, they only had so many staff. They're like, go out and do something proactive after you handle the cases that you already have, but they already had an overwhelming number of cases that had come in. So the future of code enforcement is that it's gonna be data-driven. The data's gonna be analyzed, and it's gonna be the data that's adopted by the city commission. It's gonna be collaboration of multiple city departments. It's going to look at the strengths and the challenges in the neighborhoods. So code enforcement goes out to a neighborhood, they go out on one complaint, they go out and see whether this is happening all up and down the block, all in the same neighborhood, around the corner, everything like that, so people don't feel like they're being picked on or anything like that. Community partnerships, plenty of people in Deltona want Deltona to be an attractive and an orderly place. And so there's plenty of opportunity for community partnerships and collaboration there. There's also community outreach programs. This is a community outreach program, by the way. And the code enforcement, their officers are trained, they're credentialed, they're accredited, and they've received that. And their department itself actually adopts the best practices of, the professional organizations that govern code enforcement. So let's go to the next. And I think we covered that one pretty well. And so as far as reaching compliance, it's not the goal, just like Mr. O'Grady said at the beginning, compliance is the chief goal. This is where we want to take somebody from a location where they're not in compliance to a place that they're in compliance. There's sometimes barriers for people to being able to do that. Code enforcement, they collaborate with other outside agencies to go and help with this. I never even heard of this, the Volusia Flagler Hoarding Task Force. The gentleman I'm substituting for today was the founder of that. He goes and, people have their needs are not just that they need a dumpster. They need friends, they need family, they need support, they need a lot of things. But they use RAPE, Florida VIND, SHIP, United Way 211, and they're always open to any other new community programs that are coming in. In Deltona, they're pioneers, trailblazers. They've actually put all of this in having one department with 3 missions. Instead of having one issue that requires 3 separate responses, they have one team that works in coordination with one another. And they also work 7 days a week. Mr. O'Grady?
Wendy, if you can just go back one slide. So what I wanted to point out real quick, and then we'll open it up to questions, is, so when I came here, we're looking at best practices, I figure out what I'm walking into, and this is what they already do. Nationally, this is a best practice. Nationally, this is what they're going to. You have one employee, you talk about efficiency, one employee handling 3 different assignments, 7 days a week. Your own county does not do that. Okay, your city does. This is a national best practice. And I could go into, we can go back to the certification slide. Every one of your code enforcement, animal control officers are certified except for 2, and that's due to COVID. They were hired this year, all the training's down. The 8 UCF, and there's another place that put the training on. They're trying to go to distance, online training. They haven't gotten there yet. Once it's up, your code enforcement officers will take that. And Wendy, if you can just go, I can go back. Let's see. And I'll leave it on that one. So, for questions, this is what I asked. Animal control questions are going to be in June. The commissioners were just sent out a calendar to pick a town hall meeting date that best fits them. There's 2 weeks in June that we've blocked out because there are 2 different issues. And I know last week I talked to several people that came for animal issues. They're 2 separate issues. I'm more than open, the supervisors are more than open to talk to you offline about those other issues. Questions. please don't get specific. Please don't give us a specific address. If you want to talk about 123 Main Lane parking, we're going to address parking. It's not fair to you, it's not fair to those residents, it's not fair to our time to talk about separate issues. Once again, we're more than happy to meet you offline or set an office visit where we can come talk about specific cases and what we're doing to work on it. So this is a more of a holistic meeting on what your code enforcement is doing and how we can improve. We're taking notes, we're striving for best practices, and that's what we want to be, the best code enforcement department, you know, and it's kind of cliche, but the best code enforcement department, not only in the county, but in Central Florida, the state, the Southeast. And there's a path to get there. It's going to take time, but that's what you should demand, and that's what we're looking at. So I will open it up to questions at this time. Yes, sir.
It's not so much of a question as I'd like to point out the fact that you guys talk about compliance. Every other word, compliance, compliance, compliance. Do you realize that in 2018, the commission voted to switch to a new special magistrate? The motion that was put on the floor and the piece of paper that was actually signed by the mayor stated in no uncertain terms that that had to be done every year by continuing resolution. At the time, then city manager Jane Shang unlawfully gave him a 2-year contract. So everything that he did from 2019 through 2020 and 2021, because there's never been another vote for continuing resolution, every fine, every lien is unlawful and could result in a class action lawsuit against the city. Now, let's go back prior to 2018. Why did they switch in 2018? Because I brought it to their attention in 2018 that they stopped doing the continuing resolutions for Charles Sino in 2012, or 2011. So they went from 2011 all the way through 2018 and never had a continuing resolution vote to maintain him as a special magistrate. He was no different than you or I walking in off the street, sitting up here and passing judgment.
Okay, so thank you for your statement. But I believe you brought that up before, and I believe it's been corrected, Mr. Peters. Our magistrate now has a good contract. So if
But
you-
there's been no continuing resolution vote.
So, direct it up here. I will get to,
I will direct it to my city manager if I please.
okay.
There's been no you remember who you work for.
Yes,
There
please.
has been no continuing resolution vote.
Okay,
So yeah, I've seen the contract that you sent me. I've also seen the contract that I pointed out to the mayor, who wasn't very happy with the fact that Jane Shang went behind her back and gave him a 2-year contract with a 1-year option. Because that's not what the motion was. That makes it unlawful. That makes the city out of compliance. You demand compliance from everybody, but the city can't be in compliance. We've got code enforcement going and getting unlawful criminal search warrants and breaking into occupied homes. And I've got video of this.
sir, do you have a question?
I have a question.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you talk about the special magistrate. What about the county court cases?
Okay. Angela, do you want to talk about the county court cases?
That's not listed here.
Because the county court cases are in the Volusia County. Those are the cases that we take care of here locally.
But those are still cases that are,
There's still code
there's
enforcement
still
cases.
code enforcement cases that are being sent to county court, and there's quite a few. There's
Danny,
quite a list.
can you go through the process that when they leave here or they don't even go into here and go to the county? What cases are those?
I can say the animal cases, we don't take it to special mail unless there are barking complaints, noise complaints, or when it comes to a dangerous dog situation. Right, those two?
So animal control cases go to Volusia County.
Yes.
Do any code enforcement cases, is there a vehicle to get them through
There's
the
a
appeal
lot of
process?
parking. There's a lot
Through
of
the appeal
parking.
process,
So once this happens, if these 11 cases right here don't like the findings, these 11 can appeal.
No. These are not going, these are not cases that are being appealed. These are cases that are being sent directly to the county court. And by the way, did you just say that you don't do dangerous dog cases in the special magistrate court?
No, we do. Those are the only two we do. The noise complaint with the barking dog and the dangerous dog goes to the special magistrate.
You don't do parking?
With the special magistrate?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so then what differentiates one parking from another? Why does one go straight to county court and one goes to the special magistrate? Because I've got video of both of these where you had one person who was outspoken, they went straight to county court. And by the way, the people, the residents here know the city of Deltona for a $60 ticket, a $60 parking fine, which should have never been issued to begin with, spent roughly $3,000 that day. Spent nearly roughly $3,000 of your money to have a city attorney who was feckless at best, and 2 members of code enforcement there for a $60 ticket, and when it goes to county court, guess who gets the $60?
So Danny, the parking tickets go to county court?
Parking tickets, we also have parking tickets with a company, they stay with us.
Right. Which
Yeah,
ones
they
go to
go-
the county?
The ones, if there was citation.
A civil citation.
Okay, all right. So is that what you're talking about, man? The parking civil citations?
Well, no, it wasn't a civil
It wasn't a
citation.
civil citation. It was just a parking.
Okay, so it's a parking issue that goes to the county? Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Yes,
I have 2 things. First one's not a question, but I noticed a discrepancy on your slides. One place you show in 2008, we had 22 officers, and then now in 2021, we have 16. In a separate place, you show that we have 16 in 2008 and 12 now.
And I think I can address that. We had 22 staff, and we had
Staff, okay.
16 officers.
Thank you. All right,
So that was how many people were actually out on the street working.
makes sense. Thank you. So the question that I actually had was, when are you allowed to go on someone's property? Like to their backyard, to their side yard?
Mark?
When is that?
Well, once we receive a complaint, we're allowed to conduct an investigation. So what we'll do with that investigation is proceed down the front of the driveway, sidewalk, to the front door.
So you
So
don't,
what we do, basically, we allow to view whatever we can view from the street.
okay,
Or if we're allowed access from a neighbor or so forth, that we allow that way as well.
so if a neighbor allows you access to their backyard to see something like a pool or
Yes, we
something like
can.
that? Okay, but you can't go on that person's property into their backyard to,
We don't go around in the rear
okay,
of the side property.
all right, appreciate it, thank you.
Well, I'd also like to address
Any
that.
other questions?
You can't go up to the front door. The 11th Circuit Court there's great case law. That's a violation of the curtilage without a warrant.
Sir, do you have a question?
You guys don't want to be called out. That's the problem. I'm going to be at every one of these
That
meetings.
would be great.
And I'm going to call you out on everything you're doing.
Okay, we appreciate.
That is a violation of the law. And
That is the
the
only
11th
way we
Circuit
can
Court
get
came
better.
out of
So thank
Miami.
you. That is the only way we can get better, so thank you.
So you guys
Yes,
need
sir,
to
in
come
the back.
into compliance.
No, I'm sorry, yes, you.
Okay. Question about, I know that you were gonna address this in June on cat colonies, I was reading the city codes. It's a little bit obscure about cat colonies. Is that something you can, maybe we
So
can.
in June, I am in the process right now of working with the team on going through that. We're working with TNR, going through that. We're trying to reconcile is not the right word, but we're trying to compare the ordinance with the TNR SOP and see where all the variations are. So in June at the meetings, I will have those answers, and then we'll get direction from the public on which way they want us to go with animal control.
I'd like, on that same topic, I'd like just to make comments, not so much a question, is kudos to your code enforcement officers. They did make a check on a gentleman's house, and it was on a cat complaint by the neighbors, ton of cats. But at the time, they noticed also some other things that maybe he wasn't right. They asked him some really, really good questions. Are you okay? Trying to get a little bit more information on that, because I kind of got that information later. Nice job on their part, but the minute that the gentleman in question had his cats, he said, oh, Heidi Herzberg knows about my cat colony, and she supports it, and she buys me the cat food. Okay, and at that time, your officer probably got a little bit, maybe a little bit leery of like, maybe I didn't, and he kind of like left the area. But he did initially, when he first went there, he noticed this guy's, he's disheveled. His place was a wreck, you could smell the cat urine. But then as soon as Heidi Herzberg's name was brought up, and she is a cat supporter, I think we all know that, he kind of just like decided it was time for him to leave. So if you want to pass it on to your officers, good job on that part, but does, a city councilman shouldn't dissuade his decision.
So I will address that. I'm not gonna it's not fair to put them out there
Sure.
to answer that, but I will. So one of the reasons I'm here is to take those proverbial bullets and when we come up with a system that we're gonna send through the city manager, that will present to the commission, there's 7 of them, that will vote. And I will just say, the city manager and the director, which that position is currently vacant, needs to give them cover to go out there and do their job. In my quick assessment, that's part of what was not being done. So I will address that, and I'm hoping that that'll be rectified. But anybody out there, whether it's code enforcement, public works, water department, if somebody comes out and throws out a commissioner's name, it's gonna be a natural human reaction. But we are in the process now of looking at everything, getting everything on one stream, send it to the city manager for approval, to bring to the commission, and then they'll have their strategic plan and their marching orders, so to speak. But thank you for that.
Mr. Good, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, no.
But Mr. Good, another question. When you were first hired, I think there was something, I didn't see the whole meeting, there was something about the point about rentals in Deltona.
Mhm.
And that was something they were gonna focus on, bring us up to speed on that a little bit. I mean, I didn't see the whole meeting. I know it started off with Daytona, Daytona police
Right.
officer
Right.
showing the way they did it in Daytona, so I wasn't sure if you could maybe explain a little bit more about what we're doing for rentals.
Thank you. So from what I know, there's a little over 30% of the residents, the homes in Deltona are rentals. And we are gonna show, with the sheriff's office, that, you might have 30% rentals, but you might have a larger percent of crime that comes from those areas. So there's a connection. With that connection, there might have to be a rental agreement. I'm looking at best practices for rental agreement, but it's up to the commission. The code enforcement, as I started out the meeting, they're gonna go out there and enforce the codes and ordinances as enacted by the commission. So I know Mr. Peters, as a city manager, that's one of the things he's gonna look at, is a rental agreement, best practices. There's a couple out there he has me reading now. But go ahead, Mr. Peters.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna speak, but I will on this. Right after I came on board, we did an analysis, and Ron Paradise here helped with it. A little over 30% of residential properties are what we would call single-family homes or rentals. What we were able to determine is that proportionately, the rental property typically has twice as much code violations, twice as much crime, and 2.5 times the drug overdoses. So they are disproportionately impacting our services. So what I'm proposing, and we're gonna be working on it here very soon, is a rental license program, where if you are a landowner of a residential structure that you rent out, you would have to get an annual license, and there would be a fee associated with it. That fee would go toward paying for code enforcement, the fire department, and the sheriff's department equally. And what that would do is that would take pressure off the Avalon taxes for the people who are homesteaded. So ostensibly, we'd be able to lower the rate for the rest of the residents, instead of you subsidizing for the problems that come from rental properties, they would be paying their fair share and reduce the impact on your general fund. So we're hoping to get that in place sometime over the summer. Probably won't be able to have it go into effect in October, but maybe mid-year it would start. And, you know, if we did something like a $250 annual fee, we've estimated it would bring in about $2.5 million.
When you talk about the $250, you're talking about per rental unit?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like if you own a house and you rent it out, your annual license would be $250.
So that's just one example. We're gonna look at several, and I'll bring them to Mr. Peters, and then he'll present them to the commission, because we've gotta do what's right for the residents of Deltona. So it might be some type of hybrid like that. There's another couple models out there as well, that we're gonna look at. Other questions? Yes?
Well, I don't think it's a question, or it might be a question, I don't know. For me, what is very important is ADA compliance. Mr. Peters knows. I think, I don't know if your officers are going through any training on ADA compliance, on how to handle, there's so many different disabilities out there. So I think if they're not receiving any training, they should be. And we should be implementing in our new and revised enforcement and stuff, an area where you can say, hey, listen, I do have a special accommodation that I need to request, or something like that, that it could be included where when I call you, or when I request it, or I'm moving into a house, I can call into the city and say, hey, I know that your code enforcement has been in here for this parking situation, or something like that, before you get to the magistrate, something that you can register, or something that is more ADA friendly, because, you know, there is a lot of issues with that within other departments in the
That's a
city
great
too.
question. The city's in the process, if we haven't already, hiring an ADA expert that's gonna come in, look at everything, and part of that will be training of the code enforcement officers that have to go out there and enforce everything. So yes, that's a good question, and yes, actually today, we sat down and we're going over a training book that every officer and supervisor will go through. It's kind of a checkoff list, but at least we'll know they've been trained in that area, and then we're gonna decide what needs to be retrained every year. So we're coming up with a certification process in-house that they need to go through, but that is being worked on. Yes, thank you.
You had a slide that had hoarding basically listed as a criminal offense. Do you not realize that hoarding is that is an ADA recognized disability?
Okay, so I'll answer the question part of that. Yes, we do, and what we're looking at on hoarding, as you saw the slide, there are agencies that we reach out to, so we understand hoarding, and we reach out to other agencies to go into that house and help those people out and get them the services they need.
That is a disability. You can't go into their house because they have a disability. That's another Fourth Amendment violation, 14th Amendment violation. Have you people heard of the Constitution?
Are there any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Well, I've lived in the city since '86, and we have a very small house with a single car driveway. And we've always parked one car in the driveway, one alongside the driveway. And we recently got one of those notices. I was just wondering, is that type of parking, is that new that that's a violation? Or we just, you know, because we live far out by the farms, we just never
Right,
realized
so
it?
no, there is you can't park on the grass.
Okay.
All right, and so there are ways that the code enforcement officer should have met with you and told you how you can put permeable,
And he
surfaces
did,
down.
he
Oh,
gave
did he?
us that
Okay.
information.
All
I
right.
was just wondering if that was a new ordinance or it was something
I don't
we
think
just
so,
weren't
Mark.
aware
No,
of.
that's been there, you just got,
Lucky.
it was your lucky day. But I'm glad you came into compliance, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions before I turn it back? Yes, ma'am.
So, how does a business tax receipt fall under code enforcement?
Okay, can you say that again?
How does a business tax receipt fall under code enforcement?
A gifted tax receipt.
No, business.
Business tax receipt,
How
Dan?
does that fall under code enforcement?
You have any more information? Let's just say, if you're running a business out of your home, you should have a business tax receipt.
Even if it's a nonprofit?
I would have to check with that, with Irma Taylor, she's our main, business tax receipt person. If you can get with me afterwards, but let's just say it's required, we give you time to come into compliance. If not, we would have to send one of the court officers to let you know, hey, we received this and you have to get a business tax receipt since you're running. But as for a nonprofit, let me check on that, if after this meeting. Oh, as a matter of fact, I think Ron Paradise might be the answer.
Yeah, there is a requirement for BTR for nonprofit activities, and home occupations are pretty much limited to administrative office type of uses, just for the homeowner and their immediate family members.
So how would someone know that someone is running an administrative office out of their house for a nonprofit? For them to then receive a letter from code enforcement about that?
So I will try to answer that, and then Danny or Ron, if you want to jump in. So I've been here long enough to see where people are running a mechanic shop out of their residential house, and other types of businesses where people come and go all day, which is disruptive. Those are not allowed. But as Mr. Paradise said, the administrative one is, so somehow we got a complaint, and the code enforcement is the arms and the legs, so to speak. So they're gonna go out there, so it's just you going through the process and showing that you're an administrative type business and you would be in compliance.
Okay, so basically, somebody just wanted to snitch and,
Well, not snitch, but you know what, so we can laugh, but I'm gonna go back to the quality of life issues.
I understand, because, it's not supposed to change the, neighborhood, in other words, and I do agree with that. And, I mean, what can you do? I mean, if you're Spanish and Italian, you got a big family, and you get together all the time, I would hate to know that somebody's getting a court enforcement letter because they've had a lot of cars on every Saturday. Some families are like that. But there's nothing like that going on. So basically, it's someone who just simply called and said, we are aware that there's something like this in someone's home because, I mean, how do they know? They haven't been into the house. So I was wondering how does one get a court enforcement letter, which, by the way, did not have a date.
So once you show you're in compliance, you go in the computer, and if somebody else complains, we look at the computer and say, no, she has a legitimate business at that house. Any other questions?
Can you please, for this lady back here, can you please explain with particularity, as required by law, the governmental interest in her not being allowed to park a car on the grass beside her driveway?
Mark?
Well, I don't know about the governmental interest portion, but we have an ordinance, a parking ordinance. And one of the corrections for fixing that would be you can have a driveway extension, which is allowed without a permit. You can do this, like you was explaining, rock, mulch, marl, gravel, as long as it's bordered. Therefore, so it falls under the city ordinance for improper parking. It's just another way of helping you, being able to be in compliance without actually having to, it saves the citizens money without having to pour concrete and make a driveway, so we come up with the driveway extension.
But according to the US code, without a governmental interest, the ordinance is no good on its face, prima facie. The ordinance is invalid unless you can, with particularity, describe to me and her the governmental interest. What is the governmental interest?
I follow the City of Deltona Enforcement Services. I follow the City Commission ordinances.
So basically, a bunch of people get together and go, we don't like this, so we're gonna make a rule, even though it is federally unlawful, because you can't describe the governmental interest.
John?
Are there any other questions? Mr. King, Commissioner King. Turn it over to you for closing.
Okay, well, I have a question.
Yes, oh, I'm sorry. I was wondering, that was your hand, okay, yes.
When we talk about the fines and once they get to the magistrate, they showed up to $250, and the other one was up to $500
A day.
a day. What is typically the fine that someone gets?
Angela?
I'm asking that because, you know, just driving around the city, let's say one of y'all had a code violation and it went to the magistrate. On what you make, how do you afford $250 or $500 a day?
So I will say, hang on a second, so I will say the magistrate hearings that I have sat through, I've witnessed the magistrate actually, as Angela said, we want the person that got the violation to come to tell their story. And I have found this magistrate to be very neutral, almost overly sympathetic to the person with the violation. To your point, sir, is I have seen the $50 fine after a certain amount of time, because the magistrate will ask, how long before you can take care of that roof? How long before you can take care of that trailer? And if they say a year, the code enforcement officer will say, 6 months, and they end up at 7 months. And then if they come back for the second time, or he'll say, after 6 months, if it's comes back to me, then we're gonna look at the fines. So he does take a person's socioeconomic class into account.
I think that's a wonderful thing.
It is. And I would encourage all the commissioners to sit through one of the magistrate hearings or watch one online. He does do a good job. Yes?
So one last question, I'm so sorry, just came up right now with this other one. So when does someone, or when should someone, there's a process you're saying to these code enforcements. So there's a first warning, there's a second warning, there's a third warning?
So typically what is the process, basically? And so there is your first warning, which will typically be 10 days, maybe a little bit longer, depending upon what everything's going on, what the initial conversation is. And then if there's no compliance by then you get the second violation, which will be an official violation written up, at which time you'll have a certain amount of time to comply, or you'll go to the magistrate. The magistrate is the fourth Thursday of every month, so depending upon that, it might be a longer time or a less time, depending upon how long we have to notice it. What do we have to notice it, 2 weeks?
10 days.
Right, so before you go to the magistrate, we have to notice it for 10 days, so you're on notice again before you go to the magistrate, a 10-day notice. Every jurisdiction's a little different, but that's the way Deltona does it. So you could actually get the violation, and it could be 30 to 45 days to correct it on your own before you even see the magistrate.
So just so you know, a letter for a complaint of a nonprofit or business in a home, there was no date. There was no 10 days or 20 days or 15 days. And there was no notice of first, maybe that should be corrected with that too, because there was no dates and there was no saying that this is a first warning or any of that.
So did you get a hanger or did you get a letter?
I'm just suggesting,
Do you still have the letter?
I do not have it with me, but
So afterwards, I'll have Danny Rowe get with you, because his people were sending out the letter. We'd love to see it, because if there's a way we can improve and correct that letter, then yes, we want to do that. So we'll get with you right after this meeting. Thank you, though, for bringing that up. Any other questions? Commissioner
Actually,
King,
I
I'll
do
turn it
have
over.
one more question. this with code enforcement calling VCSO when they try to demand ID from people and people refuse to ID. So they called VCSO, and apparently none of them have read 901.151 of the Florida statute, paragraph 2. Have you read it? Do you know 901.151, paragraph 2?
I can't recite it off the top.
Well, I
of my head.
can, and they have no legal basis but to be calling VCSO and demanding ID from people outside of a legal detention or arrest. That's Florida law, and I've got video of them doing it. And I'm gonna be at every one of these meetings putting this out there so that people can find out what's really going on in this town with this department. You guys are code enforcement, you're Gestapo.
Okay. Commissioner King, floor is yours.
Well, here we are. I'm gonna go ahead and adjourn this meeting, and if anybody has any questions that they have of me, you have a concern about something going on that I can help you with, I'll be happy to talk to you about that. And then I guess we'll look forward to another meeting in a couple of months.
Yes.
Thank you all for being here and presenting. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully we will advertise better. I don't know whether you can advertise better. It's on the website, it's on the Facebook pages, and I always hope for, fill a room. But I know we're all still going out and working and coming home, and we're hungry and tired, and then have to come out to a meeting is tough. So at this time, I'll adjourn this meeting and open the floor to anybody that wants to just talk to any of us here. You're adjourned.
Thank you.